Hi everyone, Dice Queen D here, and you might have noticed I've done a little growing up. Like, look at this new model. Well, I wasn't the only one, and our beloved Hololive icon, Gura, has finally decided she's growing up too. We're going to listen to her ultimate swan song and try our best not to catch every stray feeling that comes out. I really wanted to do this the day it released, but one, I was too sad, two, I didn't want to like feel leechy, and the day after I got completely distracted by like the resurrection of Ame, and so there's been a bit of a delay on this video. In any case, we're going to be trying reading into all the feelings that she has here and all the things she wants to say, but surprisingly during the video she says very little. There's a lot of symbolic energy here, but less literal energy, despite probably one of the most deep lyrics I've heard out of Hololive in like the last little while. Though I feel that's also in part of her collaboration with straight up the guy from Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry? Yeah, DMC 5. Anyways, all the way to the beginning. Let's start. Alright, so already stopping really soon. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stopping, stuttering. I tend to do these in my YouTube videos. So very quickly from the very beginning, she has a lot of time on her hands. I feel this directly references the amount of delays she's had. She's had a numerous amount of breaks. Really up there in like the hollow sphere of like of how many VTubers have had like long hiatuses. So it's just a lot of quiet alone time. But also, if you know anything about Gura and like the thing that she's talked about, she's kind of a hermit. She's kind of a hermit, and so you see her locked up in this room, and so all the time she's just spending alone in her room before all of this, during all of this, and potentially after all of this. We'll walk once more to the end. She's considering again what is happening, where she's gonna go with this. This is the ruminating time of where she's of her entire journey. She sees that the end is near. She sees the direction that she's going, and she almost can't stop herself. And I feel we're gonna find this theme repeatedly throughout the song. Burn it down, burn it down. Waves can't put out my flame. Death will never write my name. Burn it down, burn it down. I don't know if it comes up later, but the phrase "waves can't burn out my flame" could be in reference to the popularity she's had. You can sometimes hear this in media where they talk about like rising waves, rising tides, raises all ships. But regardless of the popularity, the fame, and even the money, the wave that she's been on her entire life, the popularity isn't enough to stop her pain and what she's doing, and maybe her anger, and maybe all the resentment. Popularity isn't enough, and that's something Gura knows more than anyone else. I don't believe she ever wanted to be the center of Hololive. I believe the original goal was, I think it was either putting Ame or Kiara in the center. You know how in like idol companies, one is like, oh yeah, this is the main character, this is the center, everyone else supports them. Gura, by complete accident, ended up being the most popular one of the group of like myth, and she's not one that does well under pressure. From what I'm aware of, she's been struggling with that this entire time. Popularity isn't enough. When they say that the memory of her is fading, people are like, oh yeah, all of your breaks are just making you unpopular. People are going to forget about you. There's all these new big VTubers. Everyone's waiting around for you. Everyone just on all of this. You need to be here as soon as possible. And I want you to note a lot of this video where it sounds like she's saying something. She's prefacing with they say that, and you hear a lot of they say throughout this entire song. So this is in a way a response to all those feelings of everyone gossiping around you. And that's like one of the biggest VTubers. People gossip. People will say that you being at the front matters the most. And people will like judge you based on like minor actions. Everyone is waiting around for you to return. It better be big. It better be huge. But also, what's bigger than a graduation announcement, right? You're seeing this again. Tear it down, burn it down. Well, no. What I'm saying you see again, you're hearing the, and they all say, and she'll repeat this throughout the entire thing, especially during the chorus. But for all the pain that she's been dealt with, they keep hearing that Gura's graduation and her being a ceremonialist, she could tear down the VTuber industry if she wants to. She could. She is that level of popularity. She could just burn it all and not give. Like, she couldn't care. But again, this is what everyone else is saying. They're saying she has that power, that she can do it, but she's not saying what she's doing with it. I think, oh yeah, hold on, this last part. I think we're all aware by now that the end of that graduation is never the end of a VTuber unless they truly want to disappear. Yeah, if she wants to come back, she knows people will be there. Like, oh yeah, this is the end of your career. You'll never be this popular again. You'll never make this much money. You'll never make this much change. You'll never have this much influence. And she's saying, watch me, I'll do it again. I can do it again, over and over again. Like this, they're saying this is the end. Watch me. Watch out for me. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? Gura has always been someone that has been susceptible to peer pressure. I feel the idea that someone is talking about you, someone that is judging you from a distance, or someone that is influencing you in ways that you're not happy with. This could be about fans. This could be about management. This is these hands that pull at you. They're trying to control me. I could burn it all down. I could break away from all of it. I could hurt everyone around me. And again, it's a lot of all of these influences around her that are just so suffocating that it feels like she's drowning. As a shark, she's drowning. And how ironic is that? So one thing I want to notice here, I remember how I was saying earlier about how rising tides raise all ships or whatever like that, something similar. These direct ships you can see as references to not only the people that brought her here, that raised her, but also the people in the VTuber industry that look to her as like, you're the icon. You're the reason why the VTubing industry is as big as it is. She was like, or is the most subscribed VTuber, period. Unless you count like Iron Mouse being like literal subscriptions, but that's unrelated. So these ships that she has helped raise, that she has guided, are literally standing in her way, being like, if you graduate, we all burn. And there's a couple of things here. There's like a handful of things at this scene specifically. So, do you guys know what Greek fire is? Greek fire is that like ancient like kind of fire that burns specifically on top of water. I don't believe people have been able to recreate or the exact composition of it, but it was super destructive during naval battles. And so you can see this, and that the water, the waves, being Gura, all of this is not enough to quench this flame. My fire sits above the water. My fire can destroy anything. She's that strong. So you see these destructive thoughts really being represented by the fire here. And it's just really painful. There's so much. She has so much pressure going on here, and it really fits her like whole theme. Her like, you know, I'm an ancient Atlantean person. I'm from the past. We have technology. We have powers that you can't even imagine. So you see this a lot. Some people were like, what the heck is this door? This is the exit. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. I think a lot about The Good Place and how like the ending of The Good Place is representative by like a doorway. This is the end. These thoughts of I could destroy it all on my exit. I can tear down every ship. I can like burn it all destructively and then make my exit. Before I continue this one, do you know that this scene right here mimics this scene at the very beginning? I didn't want to call it out just yet, but right here. I don't think this is, say, in media res, as in this, like, oh, this is what happens later. I think this is almost saying that this thought keeps happening. She keeps thinking about it. This is something that comes back and back over and over. She will repeatedly come back to these thoughts. She ultimately doesn't cross the door in this scene, but it keeps coming back to mind. And I think that's an important detail. So another theme I tend to see this is, I guess I haven't really talked about the direct themes I've been like seeing repeatedly, but destructive thoughts, things that repeat, resistance of expectations, and control through expectations. Lots of, they say, these words now only speak for me. I'm also talking about the sunken depths. The sunken depths I keep seeing as like a reference to, hey, all of these things are crushing her. Deep sea pressure crushes you. If you go too far down, it is just dark, debris, sad, pain. And I feel all these pressures, like the waves, are crushing this little shark. She swims against the currents like depths, what they want, what they're trying to do. But it's almost like being a shark, being Gura, being popular, having all this money, having all this fame, having all of this is crushing her and killing her. These expectations are killing her, and she swims in the depths. This could be a reference to a couple things. One, that Gura is a known like a memer, shitposter, like ex-4chaner, current 4chan, I don't fucking know. The idea is like swimming through these depths and like all of these shitty parts of the internet, all of these old parts of the internet, or all of these dark, like depressing thoughts. And in the shitty parts of the internet, they judge her. They judge her harshly. Like if you've seen the kind of threads that pop up around her, like in those parts of the internet, it's all critical and it's all sad, and all that pressure gets to you. You are swimming in these depths through all of the pain, everyone just throwing at you, all these pressure, all of these words like crammed into what, oh, they think you're saying, oh, you actually mean this. And she says, no, if I go through this, my words will only be mine. You can't control these thoughts. You can't control these words. What a good scene here. This is a fantastic scene. If you've known Gura before all of this, I think she's always had depressive, antisocial tendencies. Lots of, again, remember that room we saw earlier on? Being locked in the room long periods of time, just to your thoughts, drowning it all out. Kind of suffering. In a way, this little part here really shows how, like, her friends that she's made in Myth really helped her out. But also at the same time, I guess it also kind of shows that, like, your friends really matter here. They help you through all these terrible things and these terrible thoughts. And being Gura, like, with all of these parts, these saved her from that dark room, from those dark thoughts, from all of those in the past. But at the same time, they're like, compared to the depths around her where it's all like dark and dreary, these are like 5 shining lights to actually, I don't know, have made her happy, have given her reason to continue. And in a way, you can also see it as they've given her the power to also fight back against the destructive thoughts. If the girl on the left represents how she was and these destructive thoughts that keep happening over and over and over and over again, the lights at the depths of it all have helped give her the strength to fight back against burning everything. Against burning the community, burning the company, burning the whole like industry. It keeps her from being destructive. The love from her friends and the love, most importantly, from herself have given her the strength to stop her own destructive thoughts. As you can tell with this graduation and this song and, you know, how well like all of this is being portrayed, she is not taking the destructive route. And that takes a lot of damn strength. A lot. with the destructive thoughts out of her system, beaten, supported by her friends. Now she's at the door again, but now on her own terms. She gets to choose how the way she's remembered and the way she gets to bow out. And this song, Ashes Again, is her literally saying, I could have, I won't. I am better than that. I am better than the wave she stands on top of. I am better than the popularity. I am better than the money. I am better than the pressure. I am better than the depression. I am better than the lengths of time I've been gone. I'm better than this. Good stuff. And one thing I really like, oh yeah, by the way, Mazu did this. Mazu, the person behind like Hololive Bad End. An alternative thing, if you don't want to think about any of like the meaning behind the lyrics, behind what's been shown, if you don't want to think about all of that, you can cinematically, as an alternative impression, think of this as to like purposely connect with Myth Bad End and how it almost fits with a Gura that survives the end of the world. So if you take the interpretation that Ame doesn't actually reset the timeline, actually just hop into another timeline that like, and so the old timeline still continues as it is. This is a Gura that survives the end of her friends. The vestiges of light are her memories of her, helping her go on, keep going, and it's absolutely fantastic. This is the end of a good timeline or a bad timeline where everyone just passes away, and she's one of the only people left. But she's like leaving early on herself. It's so good, so good. In any case, hi, I'm Dice Queen D. This video is definitely going to be demonetized. Part of the reason why I think I stopped kind of doing these is because I started getting like demonetization takedown notices from all sorts of places. So you know, hi, I'm Dice Queen D. If you like what I do, either subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have a Patreon, go check that out. I don't do a lot of musical analysis. A couple of things tend to be required for me to do them. One, I need lyrics that I can like really dig into. Two, I need like, no, that's kind of it. And two, I guess I just kind of need the motivation to do them. And three, I don't make any money from these because they all get like copyright stricken. So, if you want to support me, Patreon, subscribe to the YouTube, or hey, I also have a Twitch channel. Go over there. Anyways, hi, I'm Dice Queen D. You want more out of me? Comment if you want me to react to a song. I guess I'll try doing these again. It's kind of crazy. It's been a while. Anyways, bye! Thanks for watching. Bye!